We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself.
Harvey, you little buttercup's going off to the big house. I wonder what it would look like if we slowed it down.
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself.
It's even more divine and slowed down. Okay, Silva Squad, so I've been using Maeve now for about a month, I think. We're gonna talk about how we have turned into a Maeve household and how the dogs are absolutely loving it. Now, let's refresh everybody's memory. What is Maeve? What are you talking about, Paul? Well, let me tell you. So Maeve is the first and only human-grade, protein-rich raw dog food. It's made with real, visible ingredients. There's no fillers, there's no additives, there's no prep, there is no mess. We love that part. Every bowl is packed with lean proteins, vitamin-rich organ meat, fresh produce, and personalized supplements. Then it's all flash frozen to lock in those nutrients. Now, some of the benefits include digestion, balanced energy, allergy relief, healthier skin, coat, fresher breath, better weight control, and increased mobility, with 90% of dog parents reporting health improvements. One of the biggest things for me is the ingredients of it. I mean, it's real food like we would eat, okay? Let's look at what the packaging says. So first thing on here, USDA beef liver, potato, green beans, zucchini, kale, blueberries, mineral blend, peanut butter. Also, another thing I love is they put on here when you start, they tell you how to like blend this in with your dog's diet. They also put up here with by weight and normal activity, high activity, all this, how much you should be feeding them this type of food. Now, these went over really big. These were these freeze-dried treats. You can literally smell them when you open the thing. And these things right here, they're hip and joint supplement bars for dogs. First of all, love the packaging, but look, it's like a little daily thing like this. One package, it's stuff clearly labeled. And see, you just pull this out and then you let the fun begin. Good boys, yes. And they absolutely love this. Good boy, Jake. Oliver, sit. Yes, good boy. The routine we're in is before I take them for a walk, I get their little portion out and I let it defrost. So it stays in the freezer. This is the beef. And so this is, I would say maybe 15 to 20 minutes defrosting, but that's, I mean, this is the real deal, what it looks like. Luke has just been steady eating this. Now, what y'all don't see is this right here. These dogs are like, where on earth is mine? They are shocked and dismayed. So as far as things that I've like noticed and whatnot with the dogs, huge thing, and it shows better on Luke, is their hair. Hands down, it is shinier, it combs nicer. And I don't even know if the camera does it justice here, y'all, but like that is one thing I absolutely started noticing, where his coat just shined. It's so amazing to brush through too. Now, as far as like energy and stuff like that goes, you already know, if you follow me, these dogs just turned 1 year old. They're not lacking in the energy department, okay? And the other dogs, the bigger dogs, mat dogs, they're like 2. So everyone's got a ton of energy, but this is what this made me think here with using this food. Okay, so if you follow me for a minute, you'll know I just had, I had Roscoe, who passed away. He was a senior dog. Okay, so a couple of things. Seeing their excitement level, and whether you want to call it energy, whatever, how they react to the food after they eat it, I was like, oh, for senior dogs, this would be amazing. Now, also, if you recall, towards the end, Roscoe didn't have any teeth. So this right here, letting it thaw out, I was like, oh, this would have been perfect for him. So now, because of my experience with Roscoe and senior dogs and stuff like that, I always think in my mind, like, okay, great, is there a puppy? How does this work on the back, like the back end of life, if you will, right? And so, yeah, absolutely, I can imagine that that would be a huge benefit in that way. Now, also with the little treats, the hip and joint stuff, that has a nice crunch to it. And so I've enjoyed knowing that that's like helping their teeth and cleaning them and stuff like that as they're chewing and munching on it. So overall in this household, it gets 4 paws up, like it's 4 8, 12, 16 paws up, okay? And 2 hands up, 2 thumbs up from me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's easy, it's done for you, it's measured out, the ingredients are solid, and I love seeing the results and how much the dogs love the food. Now they are hooking the Sofa Squad up, so their stuff's gonna be downstairs in the description below. They're gonna hook you up to 20% off. So be sure, use that link down there, check out their stuff, it's all down there. You're not gonna be disappointed. I absolutely have loved this, and I think you and your furry friends will too.
Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey.
Now hold on everybody, let's do a quick sofa sidebar now. Keep in mind, ain't no cop, ain't no doctor, ain't no lawyer, ain't no therapist, ain't none of that fancy credentialed stuff, okay? Only credentials we got up in here is my sass, and this sofa. Now keep in mind also, I'm just giving my opinions on very public information, so do your own research, come to your own opinions, and drop them off in the comment section. And while you're down there, if you do like what you see here at the Sofa Squad, drop a little like, drop a little comment, drop a little share. It helps the channel out immensely. Now let's get edition. Hello Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the sofa. We got a sofa, we got a Roscoe pillow, and we got a Paul. My name's Paul if you're new to the channel, and if you're not new to the channel, my name's still Paul. Okay. Now you might be sitting there saying, Paul, what have we done to arrive at you making fun of this innocent little grandmother? Well, she ain't that innocent, and a jury said so themselves. So for those who aren't familiar, let's talk about a very quick 60-second overview of who she is. So Donna Adelson is a 75-year-old matriarch of the very wealthy, the very prominent South Florida family, the Adelsons. Now, she has been convicted for orchestrating the 2014 murder for hire of her ex-son-in-law, Florida State University law professor Dan Markel. This was a very bitter custody battle over grandchildren. Her daughter Wendy was married to him. Now the charges that Donna was found guilty of are first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and solicitation of murder. Now as you saw when we did the thing, she's gasping, she's yelling out, and that's going to be a central part of the video today. Now the prosecutors allege that Donna helped to finance this hit of her ex-son-in-law, and this is over basically $100,000. She fueled the motive by wanting her daughter Wendy to relocate to South Florida with the children, her grandchildren, and Dan opposed this. So this is the nuts and bolts of it. Now here's the thing, there's a case management hearing scheduled for October 14th, 2025. We will be streaming that. She does face a mandatory life sentence for first-degree murder, plus potentially up to 30 additional years for the conspiracy and solicitation counts. So very quickly, the verdict found guilty of murder, conspiracy, solicitation. Next hearing October 14th, possibly looking at life and sentence plus 30 or so years. So that gets you to the Adelsons and Donna specifically. Her son's in prison, the hitman, the hit woman, the connection is in prison, but Wendy remains to be free. Now what I want to do specifically for this video is look at the verdict, and then I want to look at the victim impact statements, and particularly what Donna is doing in the background during these, okay? So let's go ahead and dive into that first clip. So we're in the courtroom in that moment. Here we go, her lawyer team. We have Tom Petty present.
If the jury foreperson could please rise.
Oh, Donna's really nervous.
Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Oh, they have.
If you please can hand the verdict form to the bailiff.
Hello, jury. Just little old me over here. Little old grandma. Little battery puff.
Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper order. At this time, I will publish the verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself.
Donna did not see that coming, y'all. She was over there like, Harvey, your little powder puff's going off to prison. I'm going to the slammer, Harvey. Going to the big house. I didn't ask for much in life. A loving husband, I got him. Grateful children, don't know what that's like. Never got it, never heard of it. Would love to have known. And speaking of ungrateful children, you tell Wendy I hope she's happy. Happy Mother's Day, Wendy. Tell her she can bury me in the dress. The dress I was going to wear to the bar mitzvah. The one that she said I look security heavy in. The one that she said that looks like I could protect the building in. Okay, you tell her I'm taking that to my grave. Harvey. Oh, your little powder puff's done with Harvey. Okay, y'all, so let's get into Miss Donna. Now, if you've watched the trial, you already know the judge is every chance he gets, you can't make reactions, you can't do this, you can't do that, but she's gonna do it, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get deeper into this here, and we're gonna watch her reactions. What I want you to pay attention to is her looking at the jury, okay? Major, right? What she's doing, what she says, and her physical reactions. So let's get into some more of the clips.
Count 2. We, the jury, find as follows as the count 2 of the indictment: conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count 3. We, the jury, find as follows as the count 3 of the indictment: solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And it is signed and dated by the foreperson. One moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff will escort you to the jury room.
Now, this is where he's going to have to throw the jury out for a minute and have a little talk with Miss Donna, okay? So just watch what she's doing, but also pay attention to the shaking. We've seen this before when she was in the transport and they had to pull over and get her water and do this and do that and all the fun stuff, right? And so she's doing the same thing here. Also notice the lack of tears. I can't believe this. How's Javi doing back there? Her little assistant right there is like, Miss Donna, would a honey bun help you feel better, sweetie? I don't know. Maybe a powdered donut or something. Something sugary, something sweet. The reason why I'm obsessed with aligning Donna with honey buns and powdery sugar treats, the honey bun thing is just something I do at this channel, right? Like the whole joke, whatever, the commodity in jail and whatnot. With Donna, her defense team kept aligning like these analogies with like sugary like donuts and stuff, and please, I'm here for it, okay? Love them, thank you, sign me up. But it was just so weird. So now in my mind, it's like branded with that. Okay, let's see what the judge has to say to her.
Mrs. Adelson, while this was not the outcome I'm sure that you desired, there will not be any further outbursts in front of the jury. If you cannot control yourself, I am going to have to determine if you will be removed from the remainder of this process. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I don't know if I can do it. I don't know.
Do you need a moment to collect yourself?
I do. I need a moment.
Before the jurors are brought back in,
I need
we
a
will
honey bun
take
too.
a brief 2-minute break. Please give her tissues if she needs them.
I don't need a tissue. I need some grateful children. Javi's over there like, get your hands off my woman. She might be prison trade now, but she's still my woman. Get your hands off of her. You practically buried her in the grave with your joke of a defense. So now we're at the clip where the juries are coming back in. They brought them in. They're going to poll the jury, okay?
Discuss either your verdict or your deliberations.
How much do you think we're gonna get
from
paid?
those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media, from attorneys, or elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror.
Now again, notice she's over there just very wounded, very defeated, very in her feelings. Okay, now during this clip that's playing, the judge is sitting here and telling the jury, you don't have to talk to the press, you don't have to do this, whatever. So now notice Donna, she's sitting here, now watch her eyes. She's gonna glance over here, she's looking very, whatever. She kind of looks over, looks at the thing, looking at him, just like, you terrible people. Shame on y'all. She's sitting here looking at him like, how could you? You disgust me. I spit on your grave. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm so wounded. I'm a little bird that fell from the nest too early and I can't fly. Javi! Slip a butter knife in the banana bread, Javi. Let's look at this next scene and see if we can tell what she's saying. I can't really tell, so if you know what it is, drop in the comments.
Go ahead.
Javi. I can't believe Javi. I legit think she might have thought she was going home. Like, I think she might have been like there with her bags like, I don't need to go back. I'm going home. Like, what's going on here? Like, I think she's that shocked. Now, let's take a moment and let's listen to Dan Markel's mother give her victim impact statement. Now, not only let's listen to the powerful words that she has to say about her experience, Dan, her son, her thoughts on the sentence, all this stuff. Pay attention to Donna's face in the background. This is probably the most humble Donna will ever be in her lifetime.
Thank you, Judge Everett. To the Honorable Judge Everett, my name is Ruth Markel. I am the mother of the late Dan Markel. I stand before you today to express the profound sadness and grief that Dan's family and I have endured since his tragic murder. We have lost a treasure. My son Dan's life was cut tragically short at 41 years old. For 11 years, we have been forced to a life filled with unimaginable pain and heartbreak. Dan's father, Phil, and his sister, Shelley, share in this unending sorrow. Dan was a devoted father, brother, and son.
Now, you see Donna in the background shaking her head. She's doing what she can do to get away with. Her former son-in-law. Pretend that you're in Donna's world, you don't think you're guilty. He was still murdered and his mother's up here talking, and you're taking this moment away the best that you know how to, right? This is who Donna Adelson is. This is her without the mask.
Dan's life was marked by his devotion to family, education, and community. He was a loving, caring, and inspiring person. His academic journey included studying politics and philosophy at Harvard University, earning a master's degree later in political theory from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and the Emmanuel College in Cambridge, and later going back to Harvard to get a law degree. Dan was a prolific scholar and did start, co-founded the influential Prof's blog. His energy, drive, and sociability greatly enriched the FSU College of Law. Dan's life was filled with passion, music, dance, sports, travel, and people. But of all my son's accomplishments, however, I am most proud of the devoted father Danny was to his two sons, Benjamin and Lincoln.
Now, you know that's eating Donna up right now, okay? You know that's eating her up. We've sat here and listened to a week's worth of how much she hated Dan. So to hear somebody saying all the wonderful things he did and how great he was and what a full life he had, and quite frankly, she's not saying this, but in my world, until he met Wendy. Even though I know his children came from, that came out of that, so that's good. So I shouldn't say it completely, but maybe I should say until he encountered Donna Adelson, right? And Donna's back here, what's her accomplishment? She's a convicted murderer, right? An entitled convicted murderer.
Dan was present, loving, and supportive, always putting his children's well-being first. He regularly
Notice how she shakes her head when the mother says, his children, he was attentive and all this stuff, and Donna's back there. I mean, even in this moment, she can't give up whatever it is she's trying to hold on to.
Attended the boys' daycares, reading with them. His office was filled with their drawings, and his living room filled with their toys. Dan was the boys' hero, and they have been forced to grow up without a father.
Again, she's back there shaking her head like, oh, these are all lies. These are all lies. This isn't true at all.
Dan's murder has shattered our family and caused deep permanent pain. This was a particularly senseless crime, and the murder was particularly insensible. It was not revenge. Dan was a law-abiding and respectful citizen, an active father, and a living son. His life was devoted to teaching and helping others. The pain and suffering of Dan's murder goes well beyond other families too. That is why I wrote the book, A Mother's Unveiling, The Unveiling, A Mother's Reflection on Murder, Grief, and Trial Life. In my unrelenting grief, I turned to advocacy, to feel purpose, and to help others with these tragic losses.
Again, Donna in the background over the mom talking about her book, which we're going to read in the book club, and all this stuff, shaking her head. I'm just like, Donna, what have you done? Literally, this is what blows my mind with the Adelsons, is they're so entitled, yet they're so grimy.
I have found meaning and comfort to connect with others who want to serve justice. To all the community of journalists, TV programs, podcasters, Tallahassee communities, and the allies who have put their hearts in keeping Danny's story alive, we are full of thanks. To law enforcement and prosecutors, our gratitude is beyond for their dedicated, careful perseverance in seeking justice for Danny and our family. If Tallahassee is known for football, Tallahassee should be known for the prosecution and for law enforcement. They have done an outstanding job. These extraordinary efforts underscore the brutal truth of our family story. Danny's murder was orchestrated by his former mother-in-law, Donna Adelson.
Notice in the back, Donna cranks it up even more. No, it wasn't me. I don't know what y'all think. I don't know what y'all thought those phone calls were over. The TV was $5,000. I mean, come on, they're expensive these days, right, Harvey? Come on, vouch for me, baby.
Other co-conspirators, and is a crime of cruelty. It is a murder of grief, a murder of selfishly prioritizing one's own desires over what is just or right. And at its core, this was a murder of convenience. So that one grandmother could live closer to her grandchildren, she killed their father and ripped the children from the other grandparents' lives.
Again, Donna in the background. Here's another thing. No tears this whole time, okay? She just cranks it up when she needs to.
Donna Adelson's crimes against Dan began long before his murder. She belittled Dan in front of his children. She spread lies about him and contributed to a brutal separation between Dan and Wendy. She rented the house, and Dan came home and he found that Wendy and the boys were gone with most of their belongings. He called this devastation Pearl Harbor.
Donna back there, oh my goodness, I can't catch a break. And I guess in her world, she doesn't think that she's done any of this.
Donna's eagerness for Wendy to divorce Dan and to relocate to South Florida led her to increasingly devise desperate schemes. Despite these efforts, the court ruled that Wendy could not move the boys away from their loving father. Failing to achieve her goal through legal means, Donna finally resorted to orchestrating Dan's murder. She plotted, planned, and paid for his murder. Donna's crimes led to further devastation. Her middle son, Charlie, was convicted and sentenced to a life in prison for his role in facilitating Danny's murder for hire. Can you imagine a mother involving a son to complete a murder?
Yeah, I love this part. The beauty of this is Donna getting read to filth by Dan's mother. And she's not being dramatic or anything like that. She's saying the truth. Again, it's like literally, can you imagine what kind of a mother would get her son to do this? What is her name? Ma Fratelli, the Goonies? Goonies mom right here, y'all.
Eldest son, Rob, an honest and decent man, is estranged from the family.
Oh, honest, decent. She doesn't even know my other son, right? I mean, he's none of those things. It was quite clear to everybody that Rob was the nicest Adelson we've met, right? The most normal one. Why? Because he ran screaming for the hills.
And her younger child, Wendy, has decided once again to relocate to another state. Her actions and those of her co-conspirators have caused children to lose their parents. Catherine McManus, Freda Garcia, and Charlie Adelson, also convicted, are all convicted for life and have lost access to their children. Prior to her arrest, Donna's recorded phone calls with Charlie reveal their lack of a moral compass or capacity for self-reflection. She blames external forces for her family's curse. They're outside of her, but she is the curse, and lashes out angrily at witnesses who took the brave step to testify. Her modus operandi has always been to run from Tallahassee and then to try to flee to Vietnam. For our family, there is no such prospect for escape. Danny's absence, and that leaves a hole at the center of our lives, no matter where we go. Yet Dan's murder was not enough for Donna. His death was not enough. Danny had to be fully erased from his beloved sons. The boy's last name was ever changed, an extraordinary decision to excise the Markel name from Phil's only grandsons who shared his last name. And after the first arrests were made, Donna didn't allow the Markel family to have access for over 6 years. It was only when there was a phenomenal Tallahassee advocacy group that passed the Markel Act. The passage of this bill was immediately followed by our first invitation to see the boys after the arrest. The door only cracked open. Despite these efforts, we remain excluded from the boys' lives. We were not at their bar mitzvahs or graduations. We have extremely highly choreographed visits and communications. We only wait for the day that Benjamin and Lincoln will visit their father and his grave in his father's history and his grave in Toronto. We want nothing more. The facts of Danny's murder, are difficult to swallow. The experiences Phil, Shelley, and I have been forced to suffer are profound as homicide survivors and victims of the criminal system.
I mean, her words are so powerful. I've just gotten lost in it again, listening to her and watching Donna. So, a couple of takeaways here from this part right here. Number one, anytime she says anything about certain, oh, Wendy did the, Donna's back there shaking her head. Now, remember the judge, he's going to see all this. We're coming, October's not that far away, right? And so he's going to see all this, and he's seen these cases. He's presided over these. This is a very fair, very just judge, in my opinion, right? I mean, I'm sure Donna feels differently. So, I'll give her that. I get it. Another tragedy, and this is just what the mother said, what Miss Markel just said. This was very interesting. They get very highly choreographed visits, and like communications and things like this. We've already seen Wendy. She's very curated. She's very this. Who knows what poison she's told those boys about their father and about the Markels. Okay, and just like they said, moving here, moving there, blah, blah, blah. They had to get the law involved and legislation and all this type of stuff to even get a visit. Okay, that's who you're dealing with the Adelsons. Wendy's off and running on her own. We've already heard from Jeff, her ex-boyfriend. We know what kind of cray-cray we're dealing with over there, okay? So there's no telling how she's poisoned the boys' mentality towards the family. And again, watching Donna squirm and try, and still she cannot handle someone calling her out, period, end of story. She does not like it. She doesn't know what to do. And I think that this part is absolutely amazing. Now, another thing that I think is interesting with the Markels is how they are aware of the tragedy that has struck so many people, even though some of those people made decisions to take their own son. Let's listen to Dan's father speak now.
Louis Rivera, his children have no father. Catherine Magbanoa and Sigfredo Garcia, their children have no parents. Charlie Adelson, his son Roman, has no father. Rob Adelson and his wife and their 2 children have lost their uncle and grandparents. Shelley and Ian, my daughter, their 3 children, my grandchildren, are left without an uncle and are separated from their cousins. Of course, their heinous and callous actions have left me, Ruth, and Shelley without our Danny, and Ben and Lincoln without their father. For anyone to commit such a cold-blooded, unprovoked act of murder is horrific.
Now again, you see Donna sitting back there just shaking her head, and you hear Mr. Markel go down this whole list. Cousins can't be with the cousins. I mean, this destroyed so many lives. The unfortunate thing is, like, for these people they reeled off that chose to participate in the crime, they chose to do something horrible, and that affects their families too. Can you imagine Charlie as a father? Side note, okay? Please, my God. It's frightening. I can't imagine. Can you imagine Donna as a great... Imagine the poison Donna filled those boys' minds with. Imagine when the boys started to grow up to her putting the expectations on them. It's just terrible. We heard the phone call. She's sitting there plotting their dad's murder. The boys running around, or trying to get away with the murder. It's insanity. So I think she's right where she belongs. Clearly, even before we know what the sentence is, it is a life sentence for Donna. She knows it's a life sentence. Even if she lives to be 90 something, and like Mr. Markel will say, he's like, I hope she lives 120 years and they're all lonely and miserable. And I wish the same for her. She deserves it. She is a special kind of evil, and I think she had an entire lifetime of victimizing her family and anyone she came into contact with that didn't, that went against her. Wendy, even though I feel that she is, and this is my opinion, this is not fact, this is just speculation, this is alleged, she has not been charged. I feel like she needs to be right where Donna is as well, and I feel like she got away with it, and probably will, right? Georgia gave a press conference at the end. At this point, I feel like if there was evidence, they would get her, right? right? Or we would see very soon thereafter. So, you know, we probably won't, sadly. I think Wendy's going to be the one that gets away with it, and Harvey too. You know, I think he knew exactly what was going on. I think all of them did. They all conspired in different ways, in different levels, to take Dan Markel out. And I hope that the judge absolutely throws the book at Donna. So that is it. Let me know what you think downstairs in the comment section. Do you think Wendy will get charged, or do you think no, not going to happen? And what do you think the judge is going to do? I think the judge is going to throw the book at her, but I don't think he's going to do it consecutively, because I think he's going to probably look at it like, she's, you know, I give her 5, right? I think Donna's going to live into her 90s. I personally think, her level of hatred keeps people going for some reason, right? And I think she will, and part of me hopes she does, you know, because she deserves that. She deserves to experience loss. I know that sounds mean of me, you know, but she got 10 more years with those boys that Dan didn't get, right? So it's like, well, what is it like when Harvey's gone? Harvey's going to be her last connection. Now, she has these little friends that got there and lied for her, but Charlie's gone. Wendy ain't talking to her. Honey, Wendy's moved on, okay? She ain't talking to him. Rob ain't talking to her. Charlie's in prison, and Harvey's not long for the earth. So you do the math on that. So anyways, let me know all that stuff down in the comment section. And while you are down there, if you could drop some little pillows off for myself, Roscoe in Spirit, Bo and Luke, and you, the Sofa Squad, who makes the channel possible. It wouldn't be here without you, and I greatly appreciate it. And until we gather down in the comment section to go over all this crazy stuff, I'll see y'all soon.
I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now, don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Roscoe on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.